what's there in Office 365 suite header. So now you can brand your experience for your end users or your employees, where they can see your company as a brand, and there's a search box which is available in a new modern experience. Earlier the search was here and there was less on branding, but the thing is Microsoft really spent money and efforts on making these improvements on a branding with the phone look, also at the web look, right? So both of the
Yeah.
screen, you see the company logo and branding and universal search. It might be a search to your email, your OneDrive document, your working files, your presentations, and
Mm-hmm.
many more, right? So that's something we have it in a kind of a suite bar on Office 365, and the suite bar is on top that you see. SharePoint is an application that you're running, and the Contourso Electronics is a company name. Now you have a
Mm-hmm.
HR related website like work at Contourso, the news and event. So this is called three tiers of logo, display, and navigation. So what's
Yeah.
important for like a company like enterprise level, they really have to have a organization logo and the navigation properly done so that the people will find less time to get to the content, right? So that's the
Yeah.
purpose. They have it like, the smart navigation. And the second thing is the hub logo with the navigation. So let's instance, we have department like marketing, sales, and HR, global sales, or maybe employee engagement, and environmental health and safety, right? So where do you put
Mm-hmm.
them in SharePoint? So this is the right place which you see all the hub site will be visible on the first set of navigation, which makes easy for people to just go and get into those sites. And when you really click
Yeah.
on one of those hub, right, that's when it takes you inside the marketing or HR or sales or whatever department you clicked, right? So you see this
Mm-hmm.
three tiers of logo, display, and navigation, and that's one of the design standard that Microsoft is following. And when it comes to the
Mm-hmm.
branding with the SharePoint or your intranet or your portals or your website or your regional and functional departmental sites, right? It actually has
Mm-hmm.
four important aspects where you have the logos that you may
Yeah.
need to really consider. And the second is the
Yeah. Yeah.
navigation, right? The top level navigation and the left hand side navigation. And third is
Mm-hmm.
the theme, where you can create your theme and put the font style, the Calibri, the Comic Sans, whatever you think is best for your organization. So you sometimes have the brand to choose, the brand colors to choose, the color palettes to choose, right? So that's something we
Mm-hmm.
can cover in the theming, right? And the content structure. So how would you provide a content structure within the modern SharePoint, which makes
Mm-hmm.
sure that the content is visible in the web as well as on the phone devices as you see right now. Now,
Okay.
when it comes to the logo capability, you see there are different types of logo. Here is the very minimal headers where you see less space on the top in between.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is a header with a compact with a color combination like the blue or teal color. You can keep it in there. And maybe the other one is a strongly branded where you can keep some of the picture as a header background. So that's the three
Okay.
ways that Microsoft has rolled out. Now, when you
Mm-hmm.
move on, what we just covered like a site navigation and the
Yeah.
hub navigation and the styling. So one thing I really wanted to zoom out over here, and if you go to zoom in, and this is a place you see what's happening. So this is like what's happening, find it. So you just need to hover your mouse and get to see a lots and bunch of applications, pages, content. So what's
Mm-hmm.
happening? Something happening around fun, tech help or facilities and dining. So within a hover right of your mouse, you can see a lots of content, right? That's what Microsoft is saying in terms of the styling of your
Mm-hmm.
navigation. So there's
Yeah.
one way to show the styling over here. There's other way to do it in this way, and the most modern one in the right side. That's just got highlighted here, and this is very
Mm-hmm.
clear. Find it. What are you finding? You're finding a fun stuff. You're finding the policy, and that's called the the mega menu navigation, right? But if you come out from here, you see nothing. So earlier you used to
Mm-hmm.
see about us, what we do, who we are, contact us.
Mm-hmm.
Those days are gone. People hate, right?
Okay.
They can say, hey, what's happening in this company? Let's see. Let's
Mm-hmm.
find out whether they put consulting, or let's say Vikash, let's take one example. So what they do really do, what's happening around this company, right? So this is a easy and innovations around the heuristic approach of your
Yeah.
content that makes users to deal to get to the content with himself, right? You don't need to really plan a lot and ask him to click many clicks to get to the contact or maybe the content where he's looking. But I think this is very simple and in
It's
an
like
innovation,
quick links.
right?
Yeah.
The quick links. So this is what I just covered: the theming, the color, the font, the blank form. We can do the our custom branding of the company. And when it comes to the
Mm-hmm.
content structure, the new page design as well. In when you actually design your pages, right? So it comes with the sectional background. So if I
Mm-hmm.
explain the sectional background, this has a white background, right? This has the blue, this has
Yeah.
gray, this has red, right? So this is the sectional background that you can brand your experience throughout your page of the SharePoint.
Okay.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
called sectional background. The family of footer, right? So you see there's a family of footer. You can keep it a lot of the detailed one in the bottom, right? Many times you see in the bottom where you see what we do, who we are. So you can really take sort of terms of uses, disclaimer, privacy policy, right? Those kind of stuff you put
Mm-hmm.
it in the bottom. So this is a little
Mm-hmm.
bit on the footer, right? Now, when it comes to the
Okay.
classic intranet or a website,
Mm-hmm.
these are the very used to method. Like I go to teams, I see list of team. I go to project, I see list of project, right? But this people hate today. The today's
Mm-hmm.
world is crowded, right? The
Oh
modern
yeah.
site structure are flat. As I
Mm-hmm.
showed you already, when you click on what's happening, it has so much information. You don't know when you see. Let's just get it correct.
Okay.
When you're really looking what's happening under the Vikasha or what they really do, you don't know until you click, until you hover your mouse on what's happening or find it in find it button, right? The moment you
Mm-hmm.
click, you see your lots and bunch of clicks, a bunch of
Yeah.
content there, right? And that's what people see. If you resemble what, if you like interpret of this image, right? The
Mm-hmm.
world is crowded, right? The modern site structure are flat. Like people hate to really go and find information themselves. They need everything on the first screen, though it's crowded. But the
Mm-hmm.
flat world is crowded, but we have to really deal with the strategy that's called heuristic strategy. So heuristic is a word, those of
Mm-hmm.
you who don't know. The heuristic is actually a self-discovery of any process. So can we
Okay.
make our website heuristically, heuristic? So it says, yes, we can make our website be, to follow those principles, what heuristic tells, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those principle when we start using, right, I think you make your site or design be more easy and
Mm-hmm.
understand. And I think that's what we are doing with the modern SharePoint. So the new modern SharePoint is look like, hey, you are having a hub, right? And
Yeah.
these are the initial benefits. Talent acquisition are the sites that are there. But you think,
Mm-hmm.
hey, maybe a manager portal I wanted to restrict, maybe HR team site will be a private. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the experience that you can really imagine
Mm-hmm.
for one of the functional website, like a geography of Australia or India, like or APAC, I would say all the
Mm-hmm.
APAC related countries database over here, country sites are here, right? So what
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain you is, let's use like a parent and child relationship. So your parent is your hub and the child is
Mm-hmm.
your n number of sites. So
Got
HR
it.
hub is a one hub which may use talent acquisition as a website where talent acquisition team will be working on. There would be a performance management or benefits SharePoint
Mm-hmm.
site where
Mm-hmm.
folks from HR team, like a HR generalist or HR business partner, are working. So, but when I see HR as one hub, right,
Mm-hmm.
I can connect n number of sites, right, and that's what
Yeah.
it says. So the flat world is crowded. Yes, it is, with site collections. So basically, a lot of site that you can associate to one hub. And when you
Mm-hmm.
start intranet, right, or like new modern SharePoint, and when you organize it, so I think this is what it is. You get the brand, the highly visual, mobile and actionable. You can power the individual productivity. I'll tell you the example in Facebook. When you start reacting on the on the pets videos, maybe a dog or a cat. So
Yeah.
Facebook makes sure, using ML or AI, the machine learning and artificial intelligence, it
Yeah.
delivers you the most relevant content that you are interested on his platform. So
Mm-hmm.
that's all powers individual productivity with the personalized content, the
Okay.
information, and the pages. So when I go
Yeah.
to LinkedIn, when I go to Instagram, if I follow some of the actor like Tom Cruise, so the related to Tom Cruise, those information will be visible in your feed. But however, your wife likes maybe Priyanka Chopra, and she likes her announcement, her information, what she's doing every day.
Yeah.
She may go and follow her. So you guys are using one application like Instagram, Facebook, or whatever it is on
Yeah.
social media, but the feed will be different for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And that's what called power individual productivity. So maybe I come from an IT background, and Vikas come from a business background, and he knows business around oil and natural, oil and natural gases. So he may be interested what's happening around oil industry, and
Got
what
it.
new innovations around. And how would I make sure that when Vikas launched the SharePoint or his website or his portal,
Mm-hmm.
how can I really make sure that he gets the things what he's interested?
Okay.
Then,
So
then a
the thing
more.
is, we're talking internet here, not internet. So we are talking in-house internet websites for enterprises and companies,
Right.
right? And these are not visible to the outside world. Any outside, like outsider from let's say company ABC, so they cannot see this data.
Right. They don't
Okay.
see.
Now, if you're talking power individual productivity, so Facebook makes sense because see, I like few topics, you like different topic, third person may like other topics. So the feed will be given by Facebook depending on what we are really liking. So how can like how is that relevant in an intranet website?
As I just mentioned, right? Facebook is public. Everybody who's registered with Facebook has
Mm-hmm.
different feeds coming,
Yeah.
because they are coming from a different background.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, if Vikas and Lalit, they are working with X company, and Vikas comes from a business background, so when you join a company, there's a title given to you, right?
Yeah.
Vikas Sangwan, he's a business analyst. So
Mm-hmm.
I read that information. So the SharePoint going to read the information. Hey, Vikas works with the project managers and business and clients, and he's
Mm-hmm.
account manager, or maybe he's really into accounts of oil and natural gases, which my company
Mm-hmm.
works with. So he understand you using Microsoft Graph. So you are connected to different business units, a different
Mm-hmm.
folks from a business analyst title, and a
Mm-hmm.
more on a pure businesses in natural gas or oil natural gas. But when
Got
I
it.
see Nitin, sorry, or Lalit, right? Lalit works with Microsoft, IT, SharePoint. He's a
Yeah.
developer, he's a specialist, he's blah blah blah. So this is the information we carry when we log into any system, right? Our password and username, and then an email address. So now
Okay.
these email addresses talking to different email addresses on Outlook, right? So that's where
Mm-hmm.
you are making relationship. So Vikas talks to Accenture as a company, and they needs his help. So I know that Vikas is talking to Accenture, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
you're writing them emails, you're writing the conversation, right? And you're having Teams conversation with them. So
Yeah.
that's the machine learning and artificial intelligence which understand you, how you
Mm-hmm.
are connected to this company, in what relationship.
Okay.
If you know Lalit, that he comes from IT and you are still talking to him, so it might be a great chance where you're interested to know what Lalit is doing, maybe his articles, maybe his news that are rolling out on
Mm-hmm.
intranet. So you won't see everything from IT, but you see Lalit's video, Lalit's ideas, Lalit's
Mhm.
announcement on your intranet, because
Mhm.
that shows that you are connected and you know each other.
Okay. Okay.
So that's
Makes
for
sense.
our individual productivity. This is very new, and
Mhm.
the whole concept what Microsoft is selling here, or like building here, is not, I would say, new. It's already you have experience on social media, and it's just like we are getting to save some of the time our employee, because many people say, hey, I don't find my portal to be very okay to read, because it's so
Yeah.
much information which I don't really need.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you know from your past experience working with different companies, they do have some of
Mhm.
the internet, and some of the time there's so much information available, but nothing related to me as a
Well,
person.
yeah. I have had these experiences in last like 8 years. So they name it like people portal or like some funky names, but no one really checked those portals because the
Exactly.
information is really huge amount.
Yeah.
On yeah. Well,
and
makes
you
sense. Yeah.
and you go to work, right? And you don't go to just read information there, right? So how technology can help people like you who are just interested to know what policies HR has made change during COVID-19, right?
Mm.
Just one example, work
So
from home policy, something.
yeah, so that will be a common information for all the employees, but we're talking more on the interest side here. Like interest wise, what do I really want to read as a
Exactly.
news? Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So, what I'm saying here, what I'm really meant is that you may get one news coming from
Yeah.
those policies that are common to everybody, but there
Mm-hmm.
are news that Lalit is doing some of the great work in a company, that he is making our employee collaboratively, on a Microsoft Teams, and he's really, driving the changes in this time. So
Mm-hmm.
you may get it because you are talking to me, and you
Mm-hmm.
would be interested because you are my friend, and I'm your friend. So basically, these kind of connections Microsoft SharePoint understand using the
Mm-hmm.
power of Microsoft Graph. And
Okay.
if you're connected to any means of relationship, or maybe your buddy on a coffee, that you chat with him every evening, right, in office, this also
Mm-hmm.
understand that sort of conversation,
Oh.
emails and everything.
Mm. Okay. Got it.
But that's good that we little excelled here. I mean, little stretch here as well. The communication, I understand, like news announcement, information, onboarding, offboarding, somebody
Mm-hmm.
retires, somebody promotes, somebody just finished 15 years, 10 years. Those kind
Yeah.
of communications goes on internet, right? The portals or website.
Yeah.
Like, how's a better way to engage our employees on a Facebook environment? So we cannot just use Facebook because it's a proprietary to Facebook, but we can
Mm-hmm.
use something called Yammer. So this Yammer, if you see, is actually a platform for engagement with your employees.
Mm-hmm.
And we will have some sessions coming on Yammer,
Okay.
Microsoft Streams, and everything. But the
Yeah.
high level is just not the text
Interesting.
and the
Yeah.
pages information is there, but your intranet can show a
Mm-hmm.
Facebook kind of platform where people can share their thoughts, talk to each of them. They can like, dislike, they can
Yeah.
play videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, the compelling videos with Microsoft Stream. So you make a word one video for your work that you wanted to announce, right? In two
Yeah.
minutes, you can build a video, connect your stream web part, play the video in an intranet. So it's so simple how you imagine that my intranet will show the world clock around the globe, the world
Mm-hmm.
clock, world weather around my headquarters, my
Mm-hmm.
regional, locations, what people are doing during this COVID-19. I want to really collaborate on a communication channel. So let's
Mm-hmm.
use Yammer there, the Microsoft Stream. So these are
Mm-hmm.
some of the application that are comes as an integration to the SharePoint, that makes
Okay.
more innovations, right, around the that more beautifications around your intranet to have videos
Yeah.
coming and other stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
likewise, you see there's a connect the workspace with the Microsoft search mega menu. So basically there's a search which can take you to any number of files, content, and content and everything. So that's
Okay.
what it is. So there's a new like innovations so around the SharePoint that I really wanted to start. And let's just
Yeah.
play this one quick video.
Sure. Yeah.
So this is your intranet page, if you
Okay.
can see, and
Yeah.
how much it took to really build this kind of, you know, page. You can see that Microsoft showing that you can drag and drop, add some of the
Mhm.
things there, dashboard, videos, pictures, a lot of other things in this one quick
Yeah.
video. We can have more, but
Like
we
plug and
just
play, and you can just pick some parts and drop it and then customize it as you want. Like it's not really hard. So can a guy with no coding background build a intranet SharePoint website like this for his company?
that's the whole plan, right? That's the whole point of saving the time on this planet every day. What we do in the
Mm-hmm.
past in 10 days, we really need
Mm-hmm.
to do it in one day, right? That's how we really, what you call it, embrace the new technology.
Mm-hmm.
And technology is the only thing that can help you to achieve your job in a less time. So
Mm-hmm.
people used to learn those coding standards and everything. How about having the infrastructure ready in the cloud?
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft giving you those standards. You just need to, onboard yourself quickly with 5, 10, 15 minutes trainings on with the
Mm-hmm.
expert, and that expert can drive you. How do you go and change your pages, create your pages, your content within the
Yeah.
SharePoint. And that's why we're here, right? So that we can talk a bit what kind of experience is going to be changed, and the
Yeah.
mindset in the people, right? Otherwise, when you talk 5 years back, hey, I'm building the internet in 10 minutes, nobody going to believe,
Mm.
right? But now the
Yeah.
time has changed.
Oh, yeah. Like it's now more like plug and play and more modern because of the cloud technologies.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole thing here. There are three pillars of your SharePoint. Like you have shared content and business solutions. The expense management tool is your business solution for your employees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Resignation, onboarding experience, timesheet solution. I think lots of travel related pages or travel policies. Those,
Mm-hmm.
no, not travel policies, the travel softwares where you can, book your travels to any of the
Yeah.
locations where you're traveling. So those kind of solutions can be a part of SharePoint now. Also the
Okay.
communication and employee experience. So basically, as I told, right, that the personalized content, one of the thing, and how you make your employees be more active on those, areas where what people are doing, as a
Mm-hmm.
company where my work is going to be implemented. So let's say I work for a company, XYZ, and they work with the airports to make their security, great. So
Mm-hmm.
this way I can tag, hey, my company added the value addition in this tough time in Bangalore airport
Yeah.
or Canada in Toronto, right? So that's,
Mm-hmm.
let's probably build those story. Let's employee read the story and tell them, hey, this is what your work was. That's what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing in the company, and we have built a story so that we can communicate it better with all of the company's employees. And you can take this to your grandnanny or grandparents or your parents, right? This is what I'm impacting my work with my company, right? And this is what I'm
Yeah.
doing. So those experience now people love because they feel connected, and that's a whole
Mm-hmm.
point. Because if you are a company and you were looking for an intranet,
Mm-hmm.
I hope not the HR, not the sales, not a marketing. It's called
Mm-hmm.
corporate communication team in a company which
Mm-hmm.
takes care of the corporate communication. So your intranet
Okay.
and portals, your website are a part of your corporate marketing team, which understand this job better than ever anybody else in the company.
Okay.
What content is going to be available on an intranet. So no HR will tell. HR can be your user group which can drive this, the
Mm-hmm.
policies pages, they can build their
Yeah.
own spaces, but HR is not the one which are available on intranet, right? Finance is the
Yeah.
one as well. Marketing is also the one, right? And they all
Yeah.
to one of the user group called corporate communication team. And that
Mm-hmm.
corporate communication team will have lots of brainstorming. So they care about your content, but they also care about the experience that the employee will have once you build this, right? So that's why
Mm-hmm.
it's important to understand how Microsoft is changing the experience for your employee to say, hey, I use my portal 5 times in a day because I find so much funny, because I go
Yeah.
and read stories, I can go
Yeah.
and see what's happening, right? What my company
Mm-hmm.
is doing, because there's a Twitter integration, there's a Facebook integration now on a
Yeah.
SharePoint. There's a multi kind of platform you can now integrate with the SharePoint. So it
Mm-hmm.
makes it give a touch, no? Where people like something about LinkedIn, what's happening with my team, my company, what product
Yeah.
feedback I'm getting on my product that I'm working. So they can still see the Twitter feed from company. Instead, they go in a different browser and get this, review or view. So that's the sort of experience around the communication and employee experience. And
Okay.
knowledge sharing and discovery is a new one which can actually understand that, hey, because I reach out to you because somebody said that you are working with oil and natural gas project called
Yeah.
code. And then I say, can you just talk about a little about what did you do with the Toronto-based company? What type of consulting did you help with them? And that sort of information I'm looking, which I'm having a client in Sri Lanka that I have to assist, and we work with the same company.
So we
So
can use the same knowledge base, but so I while you were talking, three questions came to my mind. So I'm talking as a naive guy who wants to know more. So my first question will be as a what's the difference between shared content and knowledge sharing? Because I worked on a project, let's say oil and gas, Husky Energy, and now someone in a different part of the world in same company want that knowledge. So shared content is actually not the same as knowledge sharing because I can just point him to that particular folder where all my knowledge is like
exactly.
is placed.
Yeah, yeah,
So how
yeah.
is it different?
So it is different. The shared content is your manual efforts, right? Where you
Mm-hmm.
go and add your content.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the knowledge sharing is, would that not be nice when, no, let me just talk about Wikipedia here. The
Mm-hmm.
moment you write some sort of like UNICEF, WHO, it will automatically change those text to a hyperlink.
Mm-hmm.
Did you experience this?
Yeah.
Everywhere in Wikipedia is what? It's just link, right? It's
Links.
link
Yeah.
connected to two and fourth experience of the pages, the content,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, nobody go and add those as a link. The moment you write UNICEF while editing a Wikipedia, the
Mm-hmm.
Wikipedia has a power to add UNICEF automatically a link, because
Mm-hmm.
UNICEF has already been created as a page, and
Mm-hmm.
the all what Wikipedia all is need to do, you just need to find the UNICEF as a word and make a call to the database and say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
UNICEF is a word that a person is typing in my page. Can you find something related to UNICEF? If yes, then
Oh.
add the URL
Mm-hmm.
back to this word so that it
Yeah.
will be easy for other users. If one point of time I'm reading in that article that I'm working right now. Let's fast forward ourselves 5 days later. The same
Mm-hmm.
article will be written by an Australia-based user, and he's saying, "Hey, this is nice, but why does UNICEF comes in picture? I don't know what is UNICEF." So then he will go again and write, "Hey, what is UNICEF? Google."
Mm-hmm.
Everybody hate it, right? Because UNICEF,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually read it inside the Wikipedia, because the
Mm-hmm.
UNICEF will be a hyperlink automatically. So
Okay.
the knowledge sharing and discovery. So one person has to discover what is already there present, right? And make it
Oh,
like
okay.
a sharing. And that's called real machine learning and artificial intelligence that Lalit
Mm-hmm.
should be knowing the moment I type in the chat about your project called Project Cortex. that you are
Mm-hmm.
working. So you say, hey, Vikas, I'm Lalit here, and I got one project very similar to what you
Yeah.
have mentioned in my chat. The
Yeah.
project is Project Cortex. Can you tell me something about it? I would say the moment I type Project Cortex in my chat, it will automatically gets hyperlinked. When I click to this, I don't need you, man. I just click on the Project Cortex. I will see the whole pages, the people who are behind this project, the people who has really worked on this project, what
Mm.
user stories, the customer stories, the success stories, everything
Yeah.
I can see in one click. I don't need you. Simple as that.
Okay. So that's like you will not be needing to talk with me, but you can just like SharePoint in itself will give you links to those folders.
Right. So you can create them and you can really do a lot of master intelligence. And nobody has
Mm.
done it right now because Microsoft is rolling it out slowly.
Mm.
But trust me, this is a game changer for a knowledge management solution because there is nothing like that right now available.
Mm. Let's say a company rolled out in three new softwares in their whole like corporation from headquarter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people are being trained, but they do need a learning library, like a
Right.
library to learn that new softwares. So
Right.
this can be a really good tool to for like hosting such libraries.
Right. You're right.
Hmm.
So there would be a person who is really working on the content, sharing the content. So one has to develop the content, right? Knowledge
Hmm.
is what somebody has to read some, like implement something, fact figures. Somebody has to fact, like put the
Hmm.
facts across, and then the other person might want to refer them.
Yeah.
So instead, the person don't know who created the fact, right? So a
Hmm.
lot of knowledge is now with the people like me and you, like we are
Hmm.
talking. Nobody else know that this is possible with the SharePoint. Maybe 100%, not 100%, maybe 60% people of the IT knows that SharePoint is capable of doing this. But how about everybody else has to know? I mean, how about the solution where everybody in your organization knows, hey, I know there is a hyperlink that is created. That means it's already there in a database. I don't need to
Hmm.
really talk to anybody. The moment my manager, my boss has talked about Project Cortex, I should be knowing by the time. Instead, I go and find out my Vikas, who's my friend Vikas, who actually knows about it. And I think this is a reduce of time, right? Like I reduce my
Okay.
5 minutes, 10 minutes. Likewise, people who are working with 4 lakh plus employees, 10 lakh plus employees, or like top
Hmm.
top level companies, think about 5 minutes video call or 10 minutes video call, or maybe their meetings, like whatever they put it, like 30 minutes introduction about the product or project or
Hmm.
initiative or strategical move. They don't need to do it like now. They can see everything in within the one, but
Yeah.
somebody has to create that, right? And that's where the job of developer comes in here.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So that's it. So you see the SharePoint, like innovations around the internet at portals is at organization news level,
Hmm.
site level to reach a broader audience. Then the hub site I explained to you, and the search,
Hmm.
right? Now you can take it to a lot of other level. So when you go here, SharePoint news, right? So you see the SharePoint news are important, and you need to create your compelling that has multimedia content coming, automatic news and distribution,
Hmm.
likes and dislike. You see how many views in there in the bottom, how many likes, messages, share, views, right? Everything is there,
Hmm.
right? So, and you can publish, you can schedule your YouTube videos in your platform. Likewise, you can schedule your pages, right? You may
Okay.
use share news, right?
Hmm.
And you may use news to share knowledge. So you
Yeah.
see the fights, videos are here, the Conteso, the Twitter is
Hmm.
here. Now
Hmm.
you may want to start and working on a knowledge. So you see the knowledge questions that people are asking in this, and they have the expert and trending resource coming. So this is
Hmm.
the kind of experience so we are building, and you may want to share your services. Hey, I'm in Picasa in consulting. We have a special guest, Lalit, today. He's talking about the SharePoint. Day one is this, day two is this. These are the feature workshop. There are the
Hmm.
location that we based out. So
Hmm.
these are the different sources, and you can see here in the right side you can see this is a mobile experience. I did not talk
Yeah.
yet, and this is a web experience. So when you go here and you see the mobile and this experience together, and
Hmm.
that's the beauty. That's the beauty.
Okay.
That's called
How
modern.
it will look in the mobile devices.
Right, and you can see the hub site creation as well. So you can associate to any number of site, you can have the users, you can have a consistency, right? So this is what it is, right? You can have benefits, career tools for one of the hub site, and you can create a new request. And vacation, sick leave, floating holidays will take you to different pages, different sections where you have vacancies, sick leave, those things coming, right? Likewise,
Mhm.
if you go to the modern intranet, you can use intranet for shared vision, shared knowledge, resources, services, and news, right? And that's what I was like, maybe explaining before, that this now the modern SharePoint is so much capable of, connecting different folks, different people. So you see,
Mhm.
there's already a news section here. So what's happening around the company, right? My
Yeah.
highlights, the events, the opportunity, or maybe the leadership connect,
Yeah.
maybe financial status of a company right now. What's the price
Mhm.
of dollar, sorry, the stock look like for this, right? So these kind of pages we kind of build. And real quick, I'm going to talk about the integration. So that's what I was talking before Microsoft Stream. It's your own YouTube experience within the enterprise model,
Mhm.
where you can record your video, where you can play your video, you can build a playlist, you can have a feature like video comments, follow your favorite channels and things like that. Forms is a place where you can really create your quizzes, your puzzles, your vivas, your trainings, and you can use for data entry and results, and that collects into
Mhm.
the export, that collects the data in Excel. Now, this is a
Okay.
place where you can see you want to notify somebody, you want to copy somebody, you want to probably get some data from your, or maybe you want to send some data to approve, right, to your web boss, to your
Mhm.
manager.
Mhm.
So this is the place where you write your logics, your workflows, you are working smarter by automating the process across the app. So
Mhm.
today I have to go to the boss. Hey boss, I have this expense report because I yesterday worked hard and I
Mhm.
was quite late at office, so I had to book my cab using Uber, and I had to ask food online because there was no food in the cafeteria in late night. So you
Yeah.
will say, hey, this is the bill, this is it. You go and
Yeah.
manager is not there. He went on a holiday.
Yeah.
Your bills is now piled up for many more weeks, or it's maybe think about a conference expenses, or maybe a fun fest or a tech fest that you arrange, and there's hundred and other scenarios. Would it not be that nice if you automate this? You book the cab, you place the
Mhm.
request, you book the cab, you attach the bill, by you go, by just phone. You use a phone and put the request on the cab, and my SharePoint or the Office 365 understand that Lalit Mohan reports to Vikas, and they both work in a different location. So when Lalit today go and hire a cab, let's inform his manager as a notification that somebody just used your cab in your team, and he
Mhm.
charged you $100 or $100 for this. You
Okay.
approve it, disapprove it, or sorry, approve it or reject it based on your convenience. And if
Mhm.
you do not do this job as a boss, my system will fire you one more notification day after tomorrow. Hey, you have been pending tasks of your reporters, direct reporters, which he
Mhm.
might have asked you to approve something. He might have
Yeah.
asked you to, notify, like ask you to sign off for some of the documents, maybe the
Mhm.
reminders. So these are the process, and that's 100 plus processes, like 1,000 plus, like Salesforce, Chatter, Google, Gmail. Likewise, your website is hosted on a GoDaddy domain and WordPress or whatnot. I don't know, so many right now in market, and those are connected to your Gmail account. So when somebody sends a query to the website, you can use the Gmail because Gmail will get the notification, let's say,
I
and you want
see.
to send those emails back to your info at the rate vikasha.in, right? Would not be that
Mhm.
nice to see the experience how you build? Nobody knows how to do it, but now with the power of Flow, you can use it, not the Microsoft. So let me make
Yeah.
it very clear here. This is not Microsoft only
Mhm.
dependent. It's universal. So you can talk to five
Um,
plus
can
data.
you throw some light more on the last sentence you said? Like, what do you mean it's universal?
Okay, so here when you say Microsoft products like
Mhm.
Excel, WordPad, somebody
Mhm.
changed Excel, you want to
Mhm.
send notification that somebody is playing with your Excel, right?
Mhm.
So it's not just Excel. You can take this experience to your Gmail, like somebody tweet you and you want to know what he tweeted, and you want to get this as a notification in your Outlook.
Yeah.
So you can connect multiple system in an ecosystem, right? So you
But
talk
Flow
about
is a Microsoft product.
right, and it used
Okay.
to write your automations around the workflow. Okay, the very easy and lemon example is you are a product manager on Lifebuoy, let's say a soap, and
Okay.
people are really talking about great stuff by Lifebuoy because during this COVID-19, this soap is having a great specialty that you will just use like 5 times in a day, but no, nothing is happening, no skin allergy, no nothing. But there
Mm-hmm.
are soap that are really allergic to the people that they do more often hand wash, right? So
Yeah.
here, Lifebuoy, you have been the best. You have been in India for 100 years, 50 years. People are talking very good about your product. Would
Mm-hmm.
not be that nice if I send you each notifications by end of day that what your product is doing in Twitter? How would you imagine?
Yeah.
How would you do those solutions using Microsoft Flow? As soon as somebody tags my Lifeboy, hashtag Lifeboy, hashtag good shop,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
want these tweets coming to me in storing in Excel so that I can read them in night.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this is the
That's a good use
is
case. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it's a send me a reminder. You can request sign off. Hey, you want your boss to look at your report before you send to client, right? So you can say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, boss, I've just done the work. You may, based on your availability or your time, please approve or reject
Mm-hmm.
my document. So because you do nothing without your boss, right? Your boss needs to be always in loop what you do, right? And this sort of things really important now that please do not ask your employee to write any
Mm-hmm.
email further. Let's reduce those emails that goes by manual efforts of human. Let's do some
Mm-hmm.
automation around that.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, and also this is the power apps, right? So you see the
Mm-hmm.
expense management. So you see automate process without code
Mm-hmm.
using Microsoft Flow,
Mm-hmm.
create rich and interactive forms in SharePoint, but rapidly develop an app you can use across devices in Power Apps and Microsoft Teams. So the
Mm-hmm.
back side of this screen is your Flow, and the front
Yeah.
side is your Power Apps. They both can integrate well with your SharePoint. So your SharePoint, I don't know if you have seen this. Maybe I can show you the exact page where you see the vacancy. I don't know if you have seen that one where I mentioned like you wanna put a request around your cab, maybe the leave,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
this is what how it is happening. This is happening using a Power Apps in the background. So when I say Power
Mm-hmm.
Apps, let me show you what I mean. Where it
Sure.
is? This is the one. Create a new request.
Mm-hmm.
Vacation, sick leave, floating holiday, jury duty, whatever it is. So you may expect on click of these buttons some of the pages and a content like a policies and career related website or learning and development
Mm-hmm.
website. But vacation is not a website, right? It's a request.
Yeah.
Cab request is a cab request, right? There's no website for it.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that you deal with the content, your PDF, your Excel, your presentation, your content, but there are things that comes as a request form. You have to
Yeah.
request your form, like the cab request is
Mm-hmm.
a great example. The expense is a great example where you are
Yeah.
requested to put your expense. So what
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain you here with the Power Apps is that Power Apps is the place where you build those kind of applications, your sick leave and privilege leave count, an application where people can can apply their leaves. So you build it on Power Apps, not on SharePoint. And that's
Okay.
what it says, create rich form workflows and custom mobile applications like Android applications, right? For food, let's say the
Mm-hmm.
Swiggy or maybe OLX or Ola or whatever it is. So
Mm-hmm.
those applications you can build your enterprise level application with using Power Apps.
Okay.
So
So, yeah.
public, when you talk about public, the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, these are the public Android application that you use it and sign in. But in enterprise, every enterprise must have a application where they can track expenses. There they can ask
Yeah.
people to submit the expense, right? Those
Mm-hmm.
kind of application we built using Power Apps, and that comes with the integration with SharePoint. That's what I mean.
Okay, okay, got it.
So you see, there is a map over here. There's a
Mm-hmm.
location, the volunteers, everything is right here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a Power BI dashboard, of course, about your data analytics, and the planner, the new way. So you see, the new way of working with you, with your task, right? So you may want to start a new work with the
Mm-hmm.
interactive boards, build your team, customize the column, launch event, message and branding, YouTube channel, and the
Mm-hmm.
third is employee experience or whatever it is, your campaigning, right? And then you
Yeah.
can go and visualize and engage them with a better look. So
Okay.
that's all I have for today to show here.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I'm
So
to question if you have any.
awesome. Yeah. I do have a few questions. Like while we were talking, a few questions were coming up in my mind. But see, let the speaker flow. Let the speaker speak with his flow. So that's why, like, did not interrupt you in between because that was really like informative and interesting topics we were discussing. So now let's discuss some use cases and how Vikasha Consulting can add value to their clients using Power Apps or smart like modern intranet. So let's take some examples and real life scenarios where we can really like improve life of clients.
Yeah.
What are the common like or innovative use cases which can be like in which like we can solve problems and challenges of clients.
Okay, interesting. So if your client has already using a Microsoft 365 cloud,
Yeah.
in their
maybe the
organization.
maybe the previous version of SharePoint, and they are having it for multiple years, but they don't know anything about modern SharePoint, like
SharePoints.
modern.
We
Yeah.
can help those kind of customer to go on modern, the cloud first, mobile first,
Mhm.
highly visual and highly attractive with
Yeah.
personalized content and everything. And
Mhm.
the first use case is a migration because
Mhm.
this product has been here in almost like 13 years. 2007 is the first version of the SharePoint.
Okay.
So I do clearly see a migrations strategy, migrations, areas where
Mhm.
make client ask you, hey, I have running, as you said, my SharePoint for 10 years long. I've been paying them for nothing. And when I
Mhm.
saw this presentation, I see that there is a huge potential to,
Yeah.
get my investment on my, product. So
Yeah.
those kind of scenarios is the top scenarios here. And second scenarios is I have a regional team which works with my, what do you call it, like a product that I'm
Mhm.
building into. I'm asking to build this in maybe Sri Lanka based office. I want to know
Yeah.
what this product is doing. So the
Okay.
SharePoint can help this team, which is in Sri Lanka, and the headquarter is Canada. So the
Mhm.
Canadian headquarter people who lives there, who interact with the people there, all these stakeholders, they
Mhm.
can ask Sri Lanka based company or this their own branch to have their SharePoint and put all the information, the announcement, the project initiative, the strategical discussions and decisions that you're doing there. So that
Yeah.
I, along with my whole stakeholders from the global location, can see or can have a transparency between
Mhm.
the regional and global initiatives.
Okay.
Maybe other organization can learn. Other organization, when I say the other companies within the company can learn the
Yeah.
cross kind of functional trainings where sales in Sri Lanka is doing really well because they've been using Microsoft technology. Somebody like Lalit is
Yeah.
helping this company to automate a lot of processes there.
Mhm.
So can I do this for Canada based companies, my other companies, other branches of
Yeah.
companies? So that's one case. The third case I have in my mind, like I said, expense management tool, onboarding experience, offboarding experience, resignations,
Mhm.
timesheet, And project documents, I want to start my project, can somebody explain me how I better my do my project management, where I can store my document, my
Okay.
conversations, my planner, my work activities, my my
Mm-hmm.
my my knowledge base, and lots of that area if you consider. and
Okay.
and the fourth one that I have right now is, can I really automate certain processes that my workers are doing? Maybe
Yeah.
they are getting the invoices, and they
Yeah.
say, hey, the invoice is from Dell for this laptop, this cost, this mouse, this keyboard. This
Mm-hmm.
needs human to read the invoice, and the one
Mm-hmm.
person is maintaining the Excel. Would not be nice if I use Power Apps and use like optical character recognition where I can read the document like photo state or print.
Mm-hmm.
What they
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
they actually read the information and they print it. So
Yeah.
let's read the information, store them in a variable, and push them
Mm-hmm.
to SharePoint and start the approval for all the finances related reports. So that I, as a finance manager, can have one
Mm-hmm.
report coming every time when a invoice comes in my attachment, my email. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
need a person in between to read the
Yeah.
invoices and upload it and
And
ask me.
do the, yeah, manual
Yes,
entry.
manual
Mm-hmm.
entries. So a lot of data entry related job we can really
Automate.
decrease, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and automate. And maybe the common scenarios, I need my approvals from different system. When I exit the company, I have to personally submit my like ID card, my
Mm-hmm.
system, my HR exit like possibilities, whatever they have in a company.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go each after the departmental heads and get them signed right on my
Yeah. Yeah.
exit management. I don't need
Yeah.
it
Old style. Mm-hmm.
old style. So a lot of folder based structure. Tap 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 tap. Find nothing. Maybe I'm talking about 2005 document that I kept in year 2005.
Yeah.
Month is June, regarding Vikasa Consulting, that they started a project with me. Now I
Yeah.
need their help in this COVID-19 because I am not really operating as my office because I need them
Mhm.
to consult, right? But
Yeah.
I go in these my search folders, tap 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 tap, nothing coming out.
You
But
can't
there,
find any info. Yeah.
yeah, but there you can change the picture. The moment I write somewhere in my text, my WordPad, my presentation, my Excel,
Mm-hmm.
the moment I write Vikasa and I say enter, what happened? The Vikasa will really go and talk to the content that you have already had in this name.
Mm-hmm.
It bring you the time consuming process in a seconds of time,
Yeah.
because you are not going to find the information and you don't know after 15 years where you kept that information, right? But
Yeah.
this sort of experience on SharePoint can really explain those kind of scenarios. And I think there are a bunch of them that we can post
Mm.
it after working out, or maybe the case studies we can really make some
Yeah.
of them. All
Yeah.
right.
Well, interesting. Well, yeah. Any other question which comes to my mind, like we can discuss in the upcoming sessions. So definitely, it will be really informative, and we are sharing the knowledge with the world, and our clients know that what we are talking is something modern, and they can utilize this in their day-to-day like processes.
Right.
All right. We're good to go, and let's connect in the next session, Lalit.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.